Hey everyone, we are still seeing a lot of crazy activity out there when it comes to buyers trying to land that right property for them in today's crazy real estate market. Two things that are still coming up quite often are buying a home sight unseen and buying a home without doing inspections. Myself, I would not ever buy a home without walking through it in person. So you can imagine the hesitancy I have working with buyers who are willing to do that. But in some situations, that's just a necessary thing that we have to deal with. For example, just this week, we're closing with some folks from Idaho who are moving here and had not seen the home in person. We did a couple of video tours for them, live video tours on FaceTime so that they could ask questions, have us point the camera in certain directions, and they also had a home inspection to reference. So they did those things and felt pretty comfortable with the property based on our descriptions. But again, that can make us as agents very nervous when they show up after closing to take a look at the property that they have already purchased or committed to purchase. So that's one thing. And I can understand sometimes circumstances lead people to do that. But secondly, home inspections. Folks, we still recommend that you inspect any property you are about to purchase. However, we can understand in current situations how some people want to either waive an inspection altogether or say that they'll take a property as is and not ask the sellers to complete any repairs prior to closing. Now, those are two very different things because most of the time when you take a property as is, you still maintain that right to back out of the transaction if there's something there that you would consider unacceptable or a deal breaker for you. However, when you don't do inspections, you forfeit all of those rights. And so that's a very tough thing. Now, I will tell you in several circumstances, I've had buyers do that and they insisted on doing that to win in a particular bidding war, but they have qualifications that make them feel comfortable in those situations. For instance, contractors, electricians, plumbers, things like that. People who feel like they have adequate skills and knowledge to take care of any potential issues. And there are other things to look at. For example, one that we did recently, the sellers have been in the home for 20 years. They're living in the home now. And on top of being pretty handy, the buyer felt comfortable with the way that those sellers had taken care of the home. So he agreed to purchase it as is without doing inspections. So these are things we need to talk through on an individual basis, case by case. So if you have questions about those things, let's talk. You can buy a home sight unseen. I would never do it myself, but I have helped several people do it who feel comfortable. And we try to give them all of the information we can, such as those things I mentioned, video tours and inspections. But let's talk about those things. Inspections are very important in a home transaction, and there are rights for both parties that need to be observed and adhered to. So let's talk about those things. Reach out anytime through social media. I'm happy to have that conversation via phone, text, or we can meet face-to-face at the office.